Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're back over the YouTube account and we are going to be breaking down the absolute, probably most epic guides and most epic really breakdown when it comes to the Curse Realm and the Nightmare Corridor. Overall, the Majestic Floofs have done it again, and it is crazy. The amount of time, the amount of effort, the amount of calculations that go into this work is absolutely crazy. So right here, we do have both of these. They are completed for this week. The calculations got about another 10 hours, but I'm going to leave a link down below to bookmark these guides. And you really do have to, if you want to perform well within both of these game modes, it is going to be imperative. They are breaking down what heroes are being used in formations, even looking at the collections. As much as I hate the collections, as much as most people do, suck it up, build the collections, and build them out exactly how they have them in this guide. So let's go ahead and break this out. And I want to show you kind of what it looks like. So looking here at our first one, guys, this is the Nightmare Friends, which we know is the Nightmare Corridor, the weekly Nightmare Corridor by the Floof Pyre. Overall, join the Discord. There is a crazy amount of information over there when it comes to AFK Arena. And you can see they did break it down to round one, and there are a multitude of comps. So in here, and we'll kind of look this and I'll kind of break it down because there are actually Google Docs that are in here that you can copy, that you can go ahead and build formations based on your heroes, which is very, very incredible. But looking at the information that comes out of it, you can see all of these comps, what SP effects are being used in what formations, what beasts are being used. There are so many different things within here to really break it down with every formation, and knowing which formations that you do have the heroes, which ones you don't have the heroes, and being able to kind of customize it to the formations that we have. So it breaks it down kind of boss by boss, and again, gives you a couple different formations. In the spreadsheets, in the Google Docs, you can exclude certain heroes, you can include certain heroes, you can change out formations. There is a ton of stuff, again, based on what you can build. Now, these are guides. I believe it's been a while since we've seen the guides like this, but these are guides once upon a time that we got every single week, and it was awesome to see, and it gets into some absolute crazy formations. Again, when you think of the amount of information, the amount of data that goes into making things like this, it is incredible to see the time and effort that goes in here. And again, looking through here, going through the Nightmare Corridor, all of the different bosses, all of the formations, the layout, even there's Marcial, which we know out of both of them, Leos and Marcial. Marcial is really the huge damage dealer, but they are being run in formations together. So again, a lot of the questions on who we're building or who we're actually running within there. Now, they also do have the exact same thing for the Curse Realm. This again is looking at the comps, looking at a couple different formations, even focusing on the SP effects that we have in here, what heroes are being utilized, and also what beasts are being utilized in here as well. Again, join the Discord, check it out, because going through here, this is going to be a game changer for players that are missing a couple heroes in here. I'm even seeing here, players running Yennefer with Libirda in here. If you have Naruko, if you do have the build out of Adrian Elise, it makes a really big difference when you're trying to minimize and maximize damage. It doesn't have the build of all the heroes, which again would be kind of crazy. I don't know if the actual sheets do have it, but going through here, you can see, like, for instance, if you have Shuna, if you have Envy in here, if you don't have Envy, there's Scion, which is kind of a good substitute. If you don't have land, there's even formations in here that do not have land. Makes, again, a really big difference. Now, in here, you can see Laios is being used. We also do have Zora in here. Now, overall, Zora is a hero that plays some formations a primary damage dealer, some formations a secondary damage dealer, but you'll also see Nyla is in here. We do have the awakened version of Iran in here, and then getting into Sophia and some formations. Sophia runs incredibly well with the awakened version of Shamira. They are two that do go together very well. We even see, Gwen in here. Also, Kren is in the formation. And then getting towards this bottom, you can see we do have the awakened version of Athalia. We also do have Lucius within this formation with a couple other beasts. Now, in addition to this, there is also an entire guide that breaks down the collections. Like I said before, guys, the collections are pivotal to really build out. And it shows you the count that they're using in there. Also shows you the amount or the percentage of players that are using it, and also what heroes are using it. So even thinking here with the Rowan collection, and you also notice right here on the top, it has the 1x also possible, or the 0. So looking at these first few, honestly, 1 through 4, they are running a pretty high build, which it shows the 3 build right here. I don't know if both of these are just the single build. I'm gonna have to check it out, but you can see right here the zero level is possible. I'm assuming again that a couple of these do have the levels built out. Now, when it comes to the Athalia collection, when it comes to the Rowan collection, they are absolute priority. And looking at the amount of support heroes that we do have in here with the Rowan collection, that is the game changer when it comes to the Nightmare Corridor, because you are going and doing this for a full minute 30. It's not, you know, the 10 or 15 seconds that we have within the other, or excuse me, Nightmare Corridor. This is the quick version. And again, thinking of this right here, we have full attack. We have full attack in here as well. Looking again, some of your mages that we have in here. You have Lorzin, you have Demia, you have Rimuru, we do have Zora. Looking at the full attack, it's because these heroes play more of a support role than we see generally as a primary damage dealer. They are running a lot more support, even looking at some of these tanks. Again, the full attack in there. Now, when we start looking at our primary damage dealers, we have Scion, we have Envy, we have the Awakened version of Thane, we have Leica in here. They are running straight attack. Now, some variations in here, even looking down here with an attack variation with Lan and also with Liberta. Liberta is a primary damage dealer. Lan is very, very conscious, very specific when it comes to attack and formations, because all the skills and abilities that Lan does possess, again, very defensive, or excuse me, very attack orientated. Then we have Misha. Now, Misha is defense and all in defense. With the formations, with these builds, defense is absolutely pivotal to have the hero actually do incredibly well. And then when we start going down here, you can see we have a lot of support heroes. The secondary being attack. So if you're looking at support, the full attack is right here. When you're looking at the same collection, attack does still work incredibly well. So depending on exactly the RNG that we have within the Ghoulish Gallery, you're either going to have that full attack, which is going to really buff up the entire team, but also have a really big impact when it comes to the attack in general. And they go through all of this over and over and over again. When you start breaking down the collections and seeing what other players are using, some of these collections are absolutely niche. Again, when it comes to the time and effort for putting these together, it is insane. I can't even imagine, because I do the tier list on a monthly basis and it takes a long time to do this. And they also have the complete breakdown when it comes to the Cursed Realm. Not just the Nightmare Corridor. Again, looking at some of the overlap, looking at some of these collections, when we have this Athalia collection and you're looking at Kren, you're looking at Scion, Envy, and Iran, again, it is about attack. When you start looking at the Rowan collection right up here, it is about that full attack, and a lot of the support heroes are running the full attack in its entirety with the Rowan collection. But down here, we also do see Tassie's collection, again, running the full attack. A majority of players, when we start again looking at all of the heroes. Now, when it comes to building out these collections, this is something to note and something to remember, is there are very specific ways to build up some of these collections just based on what the hero needs in a different, kind of different formations. And you'll also notice here that these are no collections. So I believe we had the trial version of Laos, and we also had the trial version of Marcio. Didn't have anything in here. Even looking at Adrian and Elise, I don't believe there was anything run in here. So players were kind of running the blank slot. But as you go through here, in sight with the crowd control, we do have some physical pierce right there. So depending, again, even magical pierce on what you get within the formation itself, it's going to make a really, really big difference on how well that you perform in this game mode. Now, in addition, guys, when we start breaking down the collections, when we start thinking about them within the bag itself, it makes a big difference when you're using more of our legendary totems to actually unlock these additional slots. Now, when it comes to these builds, you can see right here, we have to use 14 legendary bizarre totems to unlock this 4 slot within Rowan's collection. Now, these collections are very specific to this collection, so I can only use these legendary bizarre totems to unlock this specific trader's vault, but you can run a multitude of trader vaults. That's where a lot of players, I don't really think they see the overlap, or they don't see, because right now this trader's vault, we have it built out exactly how we wanted. We have the +2 skill. We have a lot of the full attack in here. I can only put this on 3 heroes. Now we can have a secondary Trader's Vault right here, which is double level up. Unfortunately, in here, we don't have a really good build on the full attack or anything else, but it is still a level 3 Trader's Vault. So again, thinking of running multitudes of these, because now between the first one that we've seen, the second one that we've seen for collections, we can now equip this on 6 different heroes with our level up, which again, we're going to have to change some of these up if we ever have the ability to recast or have enough resources essentially to recast. Taking these up to full attack would make a big difference on how well these collections perform. Now, also at this point, guys, we know that tomorrow the Ghoulish Gallery is going to be updated. We are going to get the 3 new collections in here. We're going to get Isolde's collection, we're going to get Thane's collection, and we're going to get Inoki's collection out of the south zone within the Ghoulish Gallery. So we will have the other collection or the other part of this, which means save your resources. We know this is going to be changing, and I know for the guide itself, guys, there's going to be a ton of changes that are coming with the release of those 3 new collections and seeing exactly how it is. So again, I'm going to put a link down below so you guys can check it out. This is going to be updated on a weekly basis. So this is something based on the iterations or the rotation of the Cursed Realm and the Nightmare Corridor. This is going to be updated on a regular basis. So make sure that you are staying tuned. Make sure you're on the Discord server. Make sure you do bookmark these guides because it is going to be a game changer for me personally when I used it before. Absolutely a massive, massive game changer when they were coming out on a weekly basis because it really shows you the formations that you can use based on the heroes that you have. So very, very cool to see. So all right, guys, so that is going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.